It was the fall of 2003, and I was living alone in a small loft apartment in Portland, Oregon. The place was nothing fancy, just a single room with a kitchenette, a bathroom, and a massive window that overlooked the quiet streets below. It wasn't the best neighborhood, but the rent was cheap, and I liked the solitude. Most nights I'd sit by my desk, writing freelance articles for a local magazine, often working late into the night with only the hum of my desk lamp and the distant sounds of traffic to keep me company. I had gotten into the habit of locking my door religiously, something I picked up after a few unsettling incidents in the area. The building was old, the kind of place where the floorboards creaked and the plumbing rattled. But that night something felt different. It was around 1:30 a.m. when I decided to stretch my legs and grab a glass of water. As I passed by my door, an uneasy feeling washed over me, like an itch at the back of my mind. Without thinking, I glanced through the peephole. At first I thought my tired eyes were playing tricks on me, but no, there he was, a man standing perfectly still in front of my door. He wasn't moving. He wasn't knocking. He was just standing there, staring at the door like he was listening to something. My breath hitched in my throat as I took in his appearance. He was middle-aged, dressed in a dark hoodie and baggy jeans with scuffed-up sneakers. But what unsettled me the most was his hands. They were gloved. Why was he wearing gloves? I felt my pulse quicken as I backed away from the peephole, careful not to make a sound. My first thought was that he had the wrong apartment. Maybe he was drunk or lost. But before I could reassure myself, he moved. His hand reached for my doorknob. I watched in silent horror as he twisted it slowly, testing to see if it was unlocked. My stomach lurched. I had locked it, right? I was sure I had. But the sound of the handle jiggling sent a fresh wave of panic through me. I held my breath, pressing my hands against the door as if that alone could keep him out. He kept trying, methodically, as if he had all the time in the world. Then, after what felt like an eternity, he stopped. I swallowed hard, my heart hammering in my chest. Had he given up? Then, to my absolute horror, he crouched down and set something on the floor. I could barely make it out through the peephole, a small black bag. He unzipped it, and my stomach turned to ice as I saw the glint of metal inside. A screwdriver. I stumbled back from the door, my mind racing. My phone. I needed my phone. My hands were shaking as I grabbed it from the desk and dialed 911. I pressed the receiver to my ear, barely able to think straight as the dispatcher picked up. "There's someone at my door," I whispered, my voice barely audible. "He's trying to break in. Stay on the line with me," the dispatcher said calmly. "Officers are on their way. Are all your doors and windows locked?" "Yes," I choked out, my eyes darting back to the door. I could still hear him, working on the lock, taking his time. Minutes passed, each second stretching into eternity. Then, just as suddenly as he had appeared, the sound stopped. I held my breath, straining to listen. Was he still there? The silence was suffocating. And then, 3 loud knocks. I jumped, my entire body going rigid. The sound was slow and deliberate, like he wanted me to know he was still there. A sick game. My grip tightened on the phone, my knuckles turning white. I didn't respond. I didn't move. I just waited, praying for the sound of sirens. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, I heard them. Police cars pulling up outside, tires screeching against the pavement, a pounding on the main building door, and just like that, he was gone. By the time the police reached my floor, there was no sign of him. The black bag was gone. The hallway was empty. The officers took my statement, checked the building, but there was nothing to be found. No security cameras, no witnesses, just me and my racing heartbeat. To this day, I don't know who he was or what would have happened if I hadn't locked my door. But I never forgot the way he knocked, as if he was letting me know he'd be back. Needless to say, I moved out the following week. But even after I left, I couldn't shake the paranoia. Every time I heard a creak in my new place, every time I passed by my door at night, a part of me expected to see someone standing there, watching, waiting. It took months for the anxiety to subside. I started double-checking my locks, adding extra security measures, even keeping a heavy object near my bed just in case. One day, out of curiosity, I searched online for any similar incidents in the area. I found a few reports, break-ins, attempted home invasions, all within a few blocks of my old apartment. None of them were solved. I'll never know if the man at my door had done this before, or if he ever tried again after that night. But what I do know is this: that eerie feeling, the sense of being watched, the sound of 3 slow knocks in the dead of night, it still haunts me. And sometimes, when I wake up in the middle of the night to silence, I wonder if, somewhere out there, he's still watching someone else's door, waiting for the right moment. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more horror stories.